Have you ever wondered what truly makes someone irresistible? The secret isn't a simple trick of appearance or rehearsed lines to impress. The key to becoming genuinely attractive lies in something much deeper: living for yourself. It sounds contradictory, doesn't it? But believe me, it's when you stop trying to please others that you start attracting the right people into your life. In a world where everyone seeks external validation, true strength and magnetism come from within. When you begin to cultivate self-confidence, embrace your individuality, and understand how the psychology of attraction plays out in your relationships, you begin to become irresistibly unique and genuine. This transformation starts to happen when you take control of your life and decide to stay true to your inner self. What's more attractive than someone who knows exactly who they are, lives their beliefs without fear, and exudes confidence with every step? It's not about being perfect. It's about being authentic. And throughout this content, you'll learn how to build this journey in a practical and true way. Not just to be attractive, but to be irresistibly so, in a way that goes beyond appearance. The first key to being irresistible is understanding that true self-confidence doesn't come from external validation, but from an internal process of self-awareness. When you truly understand yourself, without constantly trying to please others, it becomes much easier to establish a genuine connection with people. This isn't just psychology. It's a state of mind that, when cultivated, shines through. People are unconsciously drawn to this authenticity. Imagine you're at a social gathering, and instead of trying to be the center of attention, you remain calm and secure in your individuality. That behavior alone is a natural magnetism, because you're demonstrating something rare: balance. Now, on another level, it's important to recognize that being authentic doesn't mean being arrogant or indifferent. On the contrary, true individuality blends with empathy. This is crucial when it comes to human attraction, because people don't want to connect with a mask. They want something real. And this effortless attraction arises when you accept both your qualities and your flaws. A simple example is a smile. There's nothing more attractive than someone who smiles without forcing it. Someone who smiles because they're comfortable with who they are. This kind of attraction doesn't require a calculated strategy. It's born from being genuine and secure. But, oh, don't be fooled. Self-confidence isn't something built overnight. Over time, you need to invest in yourself in practical ways. It could be reading books on positive psychology, like The Power of Habit or Emotional Intelligence, or perhaps being more active in practicing meditation or writing in a personal journal. With each step you take toward your own growth, you become stronger. Not only does this boost your self-confidence, but it also helps you attract opportunities and people who share the same positive energy. Reaching this point can be an intense journey, but one full of rewards. After all, who wouldn't want to be seen as someone irresistible, not in the superficial sense, but as someone who simply has the power to remain intact, even in the midst of chaos? This type of presence can't be ignored. People who nurture their individuality and aren't afraid to show who they really are end up becoming sources of magnetic attraction. And this goes beyond just physical appearance. This is the type of irresistible attraction that draws genuine admiration, both from afar and up close. And in the end, like anything worthwhile in life, this requires practice and patience. What's at stake here is not perfection, but authenticity. You don't need a secret formula to be irresistible. You just need to be willing to live according to your own values, without the fear of standing out because of it. After all, being yourself is the key to being truly attractive, and there's nothing more powerful than that. When it comes to interpersonal relationships, whether in the workplace or social circles, understanding the psychology behind attraction is crucial. Attraction isn't just physical. It's largely tied to how we feel and how we position ourselves in the world. People are attracted to confidence, clarity, and presence. When someone has a clear understanding of their own psychology and is comfortable with their true self, they naturally become more attractive to others. This goes beyond the superficial. What truly attracts is the energy someone transmits when they feel in control of their own life and decisions. In many situations, we see how someone can walk into a group and, without effort, begin to be the center of attention. This often happens because they're in tune with their internal psychology. Attraction doesn't need to be forced or rehearsed. In fact, the more you try to manipulate how people perceive you, the further they'll pull away. Instead, a good trick is to focus on how you feel about yourself. This reflects in how you behave, the tone of your voice, your gestures, and the way you position yourself in interactions. That's what truly generates attraction. The sense that you're being genuine. For instance, think of someone who has great self-confidence but is also able to listen and show genuine empathy. They're not only attractive for being self-assured, but for knowing how to read the situation around them and interact with ease. This balance between confidence and empathy is a simple psychological trick that many underestimate, but it's one of the most powerful when it comes to attracting people into your orbit. And the best part is that this type of attraction isn't based on just what you say, but on what you do and how you act. Additionally, it's important to remember that, in many situations, what makes someone irresistible isn't what's on the outside, but what's in their attitude. The psychology of attraction explains that small gestures, like genuinely smiling when greeting someone or making a joke to break the ice, are key elements. That's because, subtly, they say, "I'm comfortable and secure with myself." And that, in itself, is one of the greatest attractors. Those who manage to convey security without arrogance score points in any interaction. When you begin to understand the nuances of the psychology, you realize that attracting people is more about your internal state than any external tactic. Attractive people often have that inner security that makes them naturally stand out in interactions. The secret lies in authenticity. This is how you begin to be seen as someone irresistible. After all, who isn't drawn to someone who isn't afraid to be exactly who they are, without masks or disguises? The next step, and perhaps the most important, is realizing that this attraction isn't about luck or something that only happens to a few people. It's a skill that can be cultivated. This goes beyond psychology. It's about building the confidence needed to show the world your true essence. And it's this process of growth, over time, that prepares us to become truly irresistible. Individuality is a powerful, yet often misunderstood, concept. We live in an era where many people try to fit into molds, whether it's in their careers, how they dress, or even in their opinions. However, true attraction comes when you embrace your individuality. By staying true to yourself, by expressing your unique ideas and values, you not only become more interesting in the eyes of others, but you also begin attracting the right people into your life. It seems simple, but what does it really mean to be truly individual? It involves not just dressing in a unique way, but also making decisions based on who you truly are, rather than what society or other people's expectations impose. When someone starts acting in line with their true essence, without fear of judgment, it creates a natural magnetism. We attract more by authenticity than by conformity. A great example of this is someone who has a unique style of dressing or behaving, and instead of being seen as eccentric, they start being admired for their courage to be different. Throughout life, many people sacrifice their individuality out of fear of rejection or because they're trying to fit in. However, this not only undermines their self-confidence, but also the quality of the relationships they build. When you lose your individuality, you start attracting people who don't share your true passions or values, which can lead to frustration and disconnection. On the contrary, those who preserve their individuality attract deeper and more genuine relationships because they are in tune with what they truly want and believe in. And yes, it can be challenging to fully embrace individuality, especially when there's pressure to be like everyone else. But trust me, true attraction lies in being imperfect in your own way. This doesn't mean not striving to improve or grow, but it means accepting who you are without the need for external approval. The natural charm you exude over others comes exactly from your freedom to be who you are, without holding back. To give a practical example, think of the most charismatic people you know. What do they have in common? Surely, they are unique, unafraid to express their opinions or follow their own paths. Whether a leader in their field or someone who's learned to trust their own judgment, these people naturally attract others. This is because individuality, far from driving people away, draws them closer. And when you begin to understand this, you realize that the best connections come exactly when you allow your true essence to shine. Now, reflecting on all of this, it's impossible not to notice that staying true to your individuality is the key to a life full of genuine attraction. And this undoubtedly opens doors to more authentic, deeper, and enriching relationships. Building self-confidence isn't a magical process that happens overnight. On the contrary, it's a continuous journey, a daily effort that requires patience, discipline, and often confronting internal fears. The secret lies in small everyday actions that, over time, accumulate and yield great results. Self-confidence is born from constant practice, from the ability to face life's challenges and tackle them with the certainty that you're capable of overcoming them. And each small victory, even if invisible to others, strengthens that inner muscle. One of the most powerful ways to boost self-confidence is stepping out of your comfort zone. When you expose yourself to new and even slightly uncomfortable situations, you begin to prove to yourself that you can handle the unknown. This could be as simple as public speaking, signing up for an activity you've never tried before, or even making difficult decisions that involve calculated risks. Each time you do this, your confidence grows. A simple example of this is challenging yourself to give a work presentation or participate in a meeting where you have something valuable to contribute. Even if the outcome isn't perfect, the simple act of putting yourself out there is a significant step. But it's not just about big actions. Everyday life offers countless opportunities to cultivate self-confidence, starting with small daily decisions. For instance, when you wake up, instead of falling into autopilot, you can choose to start your day with a positive practice, like meditation or physical exercise, even if only for a few minutes. This simple act of taking care of yourself at the beginning of the day already puts you in control of your own life, preparing your mind for success. Over time, these actions become natural and part of your routine, forming a solid foundation for self-confidence. Another crucial aspect is the way you speak to yourself. Your internal dialogue, often overlooked, is one of the greatest allies of self-confidence. If you constantly criticize yourself or put yourself down, it's hard to maintain a sense of security. On the other hand, cultivating a positive and affirming dialogue can completely transform the way you see yourself. This doesn't mean ignoring your flaws or weaknesses, but rather approaching them with a constructive mindset. An example of this would be asking yourself, instead of, "Why can't I do this?" "How can I improve this?" The way you communicate with yourself has a direct impact on your perception of your own abilities. Finally, self-confidence is reinforced when you start celebrating your victories, even the small ones. Every step you take towards your goal deserves recognition. This creates a cycle of positive reinforcement, where you begin to see yourself as someone capable, competent, and deserving of success. For example, if you manage to complete a difficult task or learn something new, celebrate it. Small victories are not just moments of pleasure, but milestones of growth that strengthen your internal confidence. Over time, these daily actions, whether the most challenging or the simplest, shape your self-confidence in a robust and unwavering way. What you begin to realize is that self-confidence doesn't come from a single event or major achievement, but from the sum of all these actions, consistently made with the intention of growing and strengthening yourself every day. Attraction is often seen as something superficial, linked only to what is seen, but in reality, it is deeply rooted in our inner energy. It's not just about what we do or say, but how we feel that determines how we attract the people around us. True attraction arises when we manage to project positive energy, when our mind and body are aligned on a frequency of well-being and confidence. This is reflected not only in our words, but especially in our actions, behavior, and everyday attitudes. An example of this is the behavior of someone who enters a room and, without saying a word, manages to capture everyone's attention. It's not because they are necessarily the most beautiful or the best dressed, but because they radiate an energy that is impossible to ignore. They feel good about themselves, are in tune with their own essence, and this shines through in all their gestures. This type of energy is irresistible, and people notice it, even without realizing. Attraction doesn't depend on a conscious effort to please, but rather on the authenticity of being who you are and the confidence that comes from within. When we talk about attracting people into our lives, we are talking much more about the quality of our energy than any other aspect. Those who are in tune with their own essence and possess a high level of self-confidence tend to create deeper and more authentic relationships. This happens because these people attract individuals who share this positive energy. It's an emotional connection that goes beyond appearance or the superficiality of words. It's the energy that emanates from within that, naturally, draws more sincere and aligned relationships to itself. And how can you cultivate this inner energy that makes you irresistible? The answer lies in daily practices that reinforce the balance between mind, body, and spirit. Start with activities that make you feel good and aligned with your purpose, like practicing yoga, meditation, or even moments of introspection. Additionally, surrounding yourself with people who also vibrate at this positive frequency can amplify your own energy. This creates a cycle where attraction becomes almost a side effect of your own evolutionary process. Now, it's important to highlight that this inner energy is not something that appears suddenly, nor something that can be forced. It arises from a continuous commitment to personal growth, maintaining a positive mindset, and practicing self-confidence. Those who seek this inner harmony are the ones who, over time, become immensely attractive to others, not because of perfection, but because of the authenticity and peace they transmit. Therefore, by realizing that attraction is a direct consequence of our inner energy, you begin to understand that the most important thing is not trying to please, but being true to yourself. True attraction happens when we connect with our own energy, creating an aura of magnetism that not only attracts but also maintains healthy and genuine relationships. And have you ever thought about having the woman you want just by texting? There's a secret that all women keep with them. A mental trigger that gets activated in their minds when you send certain specific messages. I teach all of this in an ebook, which I'll leave as a gift in the first pinned comment on this video. It's not free because it took work to create, but it's almost free because the price is ridiculously low, cheaper than a snack. Go ahead and grab your gift. Now that you know the real secret behind being irresistible, it's time to act. Remember, it's not about shaping a facade to please others, but about cultivating your own energy, embracing your individuality, and building your self-confidence every day. Start today with small actions that will reflect in your behavior, your relationships, and, of course, in the way you see yourself. Are you ready to change? To become someone who doesn't need external validation because they are already secure in who they are? If you feel that this content has provided valuable insights, don't forget to apply what you've learned here. True change happens when we put the knowledge we've gained into practice. And to continue on this journey of self-discovery and evolution, subscribe to the channel and activate the notifications so you don't miss any more powerful tips. Remember, the life you want to create begins the moment you decide to be true to yourself. Let's walk this path together to become not just irresistible, but authentically you. And have you ever thought about making her miss you every day? This is very simple. I've taught how this is possible with simple steps in the video that's on your screen. Click here, and I'll see you there.